Hello. I cannot believe that we are beginning week 2 already. This week, we will learn about reading instruction that will assist your students with becoming lifelong readers. We will be looking at two important elements of the balanced literacy framework: shared reading and interactive read aloud. These instructional practices play a key role in both decoding and comprehension instruction. Children of all ages love to hear books read aloud. Many toddlers and preschoolers will ask to have a favorite book read over and over and over. As a teacher, you rely on that love for familiar texts to help your children become growing independent readers. Shared reading can be used throughout grade levels to negotiate text as a community and to explicitly teach comprehension and decoding strategies. Interactive read aloud is also important for the continued development of older readers. Additionally, shared reading and interactive read aloud are both highly beneficial practices for English language learners. As you view the videos this week of shared reading and interactive read aloud, think about the differences and the similarities between the two. Be mindful of how your thinking shifts regarding best practices for reading to and/or with children. In our guided reading text, you will want to review these pages: page 11, pages 36 through 38, chapter 3, and pages 283 through 284. Pages 36 through 38 give an explanation of the 4 levels of support and the 5 kinds of reading. Chapter 3 explains shared reading at length. Figure 3.4 discusses the value of shared reading for early readers. Pages 62 through 65 are about selecting text for shared reading. The text that you select should be worth reading and rereading. You want to consider texts that provide early experiences with print, texts that lead to the development of an early reading process, texts that promote the construction of meaning and the development of language. Pages 65 through 69 explain the components of a shared reading lesson for early readers. Pages 70 through 76 illustrate the basic components of a shared reading lesson with an example. Please note the first reading of the shared reading text. The teacher reads the text to the students. We want the students to enjoy the story and think about the meaning. We want them to discover supports such as rhyme, rhythm, and repetition, and understand how the story works before we begin any instruction. So if you are taking 3041, you will want to have read the shared reading text to your students before beginning your assignment for week 2. The shared reading example in our text is the model for you to follow. On pages 84 through 94, it talks about the value of shared reading for intermediate, and middle level readers. Shared reading is not just for emergent and early readers. Pages 283 through 285 discuss texts for interactive read aloud. One thing that you never do in shared reading or interactive read aloud is to just grab any book to share with the students. The teacher needs to carefully plan for these elements. By the end of week 2, you will be able to explain in writing the difference and similarities between shared reading and interactive read aloud, and how both are part of a balanced literacy classroom. And you will also be able to explain in writing how the practices of shared reading and interactive read aloud support the diverse learning needs of students. Your assignment this week is, after reviewing the material, they explain your understanding of the differences and similarities between shared reading and interactive read aloud. How did they fit as part of a balanced literacy classroom? What can be taught through shared reading? What can be taught through interactive read aloud? How can these practices benefit the diverse learning needs of our students? Please remember to cite 2 additional sources in addition to the course readings and respond substantially to 2 other students. Also, please use the rubric before you submit your posts. I look forward to reading them. Thank you.